What's up, guys?
Hi!
So today we are in Martha's Vineyard and we're so excited to be here. We've heard so many great things about Martha's Vineyard, about how beautiful it is, and we've seen so many pictures and videos over the years seeing how beautiful it is, and we can't wait to explore it ourselves.
So far, it lives up to the hype.
Yes.
It's absolutely stunning here.
It is.
And it's even been like a gloomy start to the day. The sun's coming out now, but even with the gloom and the overcast day, a little bit of rain, it was still so beautiful. Earlier this morning, we got up and we headed towards the ferry, and we took the Queen Island ferry, and we booked it in advance because they can sell out. Cost us $60 total round trip. So total, me and Megan there and back, $60. It was a little surprising how expensive these ferries are. I was not expecting that, considering it's only like a 30-minute ferry ride. Right. But I guess it also makes sense in that they don't want a ton of people just coming over here all the time, so it's a good way to kind of keep the crowds low, I guess. It kind of felt on the ferry, it kind of felt like we were on the Disney World ferry going to Disney World. I was like, Megan, are we heading to Disney? Because it kind of feels that way. Announcing over the intercom, James was like, Disney?
I know, seriously. So when we first got off the boat, we walked into downtown Oak Bluffs and had to get some coffee and breakfast. And we walked over to Alia's Coffee, not sure how you pronounce it, but the coffee was amazing. I got a vanilla latte with cinnamon. Meg got a specialty drink. I got a raspberry matcha with oat milk, and that was so yummy. It's actual raspberries mashed up inside your matcha, so it was really yummy. I loved it. Yeah. And then we both got breakfast plates, and we both got the egg biscuit. Yes, and it was so good with a side of bacon. I loved them. The hash browns were good. The jelly or jam, whatever it was. Honestly, incredible. It was all prepared very uniquely. Yeah. The hash browns were super unique and so good. The jelly was so good and homemade. Biscuit was amazing. Eggs were great. And it was a lot of food, actually. We absolutely loved it. Yeah. It was really good. But yeah, after that, we walked around downtown Oak Bluffs, popped into a couple of shops and things like that, and then we walked down to the oldest carousel in the United States. So it was originally built in Coney Island, and they brought it over here back in the 1800s, and it's the oldest one in the country. It is crazy. It is so cool and unique. I've never seen one like that before. Oldest carousel in America, and you can tell. Oh yeah, for sure. I don't know how many times they've like fixed it up, but they carved that thing by hand, for sure. After that, we walked just a short distance over to the Martha's Vineyard Camp Meeting Association, and this is where they have all the beautiful gingerbread houses, and they are so unique and so special. So this is something that Martha's Vineyard is known for, and I can see why. Yeah. There are actually so many. I was expecting it to just be one little strip, and it's like a whole community of gingerbread homes. There might be like many homes. 50 to 100 gingerbread houses over here. I don't even know if we've seen them all. We have not seen them all. Yeah. And honestly, they're decorated so beautifully. They're so unique. They have so much character. So many beautiful flowers in their flower baskets and out front. The lawn is done so well. They have the most perfect little rocking chairs, and I'm telling you, like, these homes are like mini. Yeah. They're like tiny homes. They're like tiny homes, for sure. I love it so much. Yeah. This is the cutest little area. It really is. It's so beautiful. But yeah, we're gonna get back to walking around. We've got a pretty busy day, so we're gonna try to fit in as much as we can here in our day at Martha's Vineyard. So we'll take you guys along and show you what we get into. Yep.
Tuesdays, 3 sold on the card. Sour by Wednesday.
We made it back from Martha's. Meg,
We did.
what'd you think about it?
I absolutely love Martha's Vineyard.
It is very beautiful. Yeah, and we didn't even see the whole thing. We just saw a portion of it. The last time we saw you guys, we were over in the Oak Bluffs area and we were checking out the gingerbread houses. Well, after that, we walked over through town over to Ocean Park. So Ocean Park is a very popular spot in Oak Bluffs on Martha's Vineyard. It's got a bunch of super-sized gingerbread houses, and they are absolutely beautiful. They have all the beautiful flowers as well. The unique thing about these are that they are also very big, but they have an absolutely beautiful view of the ocean. So they are all facing the ocean, and it's a little park that you can walk through. We actually saw some girlies. They had set up a little picnic, which was really cute. It's a very cute little spot.
It is stunning. And
Yeah,
then
it really is.
those giant gingerbread houses lining the park, it truly is so picturesque.
Yeah, Ocean Park is a very beautiful area. Highly recommend. Most of the things that you want to see in Oak Bluffs are within walking distance.
Very close, yeah. Super easy walks.
Not even a mile probably between them. Thankfully, we were able to catch the bus. They have a bus system there that is very good.
Very efficient.
Very efficient. And thankfully, a local had told me that there is an app that you can download, so I did. And it keeps track of every single bus on the island. So I could see where every single bus was, which direction they were going, which stop they were heading to next. They have it color coordinated so you know which direction they're going if they're, going in the direction that you want to go. I loved that so much. It made it so easy.
If you are planning on getting around that way on Martha's Vineyard, you definitely need to download the app.
We were able to see that a bus was coming up. We caught the bus and I just scanned my credit card. It was $4 each for Megan and I to hop on the bus and head over to Edgartown, which Edgartown is probably the second, might be the first, I don't know. That and Oak Bluffs are the two most popular spots you want to see in terms of towns on Martha's Vineyard. It was only a 15-minute, 20-minute bus ride over there. The bus was super comfortable, super easy, and
nice,
honestly,
clean.
a very beautiful view. You're right along the ocean and you're getting to see beaches, and we got to see the famous Jaws Bridge, which was really cool. The kids were all jumping off Jaws Bridge.
That was honestly a really cool part of Martha's Vineyard that I did not know about, to be able to see that. And there was literally a crowd out there jumping off that bridge.
Yeah.
It was insane, and it looked so fun, and just how cool.
I know. Yeah, there is a bus stop there, so we could have gotten out there if we wanted to, but our intentions were to go to Edgartown and continue to explore there. If you do want to go to the beach and hang out by Jaws Bridge, there is that opportunity. But yes,
because everyone wants to go to Jaws Bridge.
Yeah, for sure. That would be so fun. We ended up making it into Edgartown, and the downtown was incredible. Truly, absolutely beautiful. I will say that out of Oak Bluffs and Edgartown was definitely our favorite. It was just perfect. If you could take a screensaver of what you would think Martha's Vineyard would look like in terms of a town, that was it.
The perfect homes, the perfect hotels, bed and breakfast. It was just so cute.
Yeah.
And then you also see all of that while overlooking the harbor or the shipyard, and it was so pretty to see all the boats in the background of all of these stunning homes and hotels along the drive. It was just insane. And then there's also really great shopping. The downtown area was super happening, and a lot of the stores stay open late, which was really great. They had really great options and great stuff to choose from, and same with restaurants.
Yeah, I did love that. Almost all the stores on the island stayed open till 10, which is insane. I loved that so much. You had the opportunity to shop late if you wanted to.
Yes.
So yeah, we strolled around downtown Edgartown for a while. We ended up getting some coffee at one of the coffee spots, and then we ended up stopping in to get some lunch. And we just were getting a quick bite, so we didn't go to an actual sit-down restaurant, and we went to McPhail's Corner Cafe. It was just a random little spot that we saw, and people were in there ordering food, so we just hopped in. I ended up getting a cheeseburger with avocado, and Meg ended up getting popcorn chicken with fries. So we continued to stroll around town, and you could actually see Martha's Vineyard Shipyard from the walking path as you're going towards the lighthouse. And guys, that is so beautiful. It's literally, as we've said, it's just so picturesque. It is perfectly just everything that you could imagine.
Used to be cold, used to live alone. I was just a shadow waiting on a spark. When I saw your face, like my past erase. Now every day you got me glowing in the dark. Can't you feel the friction? I'm on fire, baby. Dancing desire, baby. They call it fire, baby. That's what you do. My bitter heart was cold, and you came and pulled me closer. Now I'm on fire, baby, like I was made to. I'm on burn for you. Only always for you. How do you know when you know? Me and all my friends are getting terrified. But if what
You have to go check out that lighthouse. It is perfect. It is in a great location. There were so many people hanging out on the beach right there in front of the lighthouse.
Yeah, they have little slivers of beach like all around that area, which I thought was really cute and quaint. It wasn't busy or anything. It was very cute. A lot of people had their like kids out there.
Great place to have a picnic if you want to.
Oh, yeah.
There were people doing photo shoots. We were one of those people. It's just absolutely beautiful. We did get some really good pictures right there, and we'll throw them in right here.
And you guys, I was so excited because there were seashells everywhere, like beautiful, full seashells. I was truly so excited. You guys probably know by now that I love hunting for seashells.
Yeah.
And they're just out there in the open for you. I'm sure obviously water comes up in those areas, so I don't know how often it's like actually exposed. But the area we were shooting was fully sand and no water, and there were tons of gorgeous seashells. And so I found a lot and brought them home with us.
Yeah. I couldn't believe how many seashells there were, like really legit good ones everywhere.
Big, beautiful seashells.
You don't see that stuff back home.
No.
So we had to make our way back to the bus to catch the bus to go back to Oak Bluffs. So we caught the bus, headed back into town to Oak Bluffs. When we got back into town, we just walked around, hopped in a few more shops. I ended up getting Adele's because one of the stores had Adele's frozen lemonade, so I had to do it. Then we walked along the ships in front of the harbor right there, and there are some really beautiful hotels and some beautiful homes right there in front of the ships. And as the sun was setting, it was just a very beautiful spot. After that, we just jumped on the Island Queen ferry and made our way back home. Now we're back at our place, so we are settling in. We just had some food, and we've got another busy day planned for tomorrow.
Yes, a few tips if you are planning to do Martha's Vineyard just for the day. Bring a couple layers of things if you need to change, strip a layer or add a layer, because the weather does tend to change a good bit while you're there, especially with it being on an island. So for us, it started out chilly in the morning and actually raining and overcast, and then it was sunny and super hot and super humid. So we were like sweating pretty bad and had to strip the layers, and then by nighttime it was breezy and cool again. So I definitely recommend making sure you bring a bag with a couple extra things. I actually brought a carry tote with my purse and had just our extra stuff, some snacks and things like that in my tote bag. There's actually a spot right after you get off the ferry that's called Dockside Inn, and they will actually hold your bags for the day, which was really awesome. We just walked in and asked if we could leave our bags there. I think for me, because it was a smaller bag, they charged us like $5, but I think they said normally it's $10 a bag.
Yeah.
And they hold it in their room for you for the day, and we were able to come back and get it whenever we wanted.
Yeah, they were so nice. That was perfect. Everyone on the island was so nice and accommodating.
Definitely.
It was a great experience. I loved it so much, and I definitely want to go back. I want to see the west side of the island where they have the cliffs and supposedly have even better beaches and things like that. There's still so much left to see. on Martha's Vineyard. I didn't realize how big it is, but it actually is a pretty big spot. We've got another really busy day planned, and we're gonna wind down for the night, and we'll take you guys along.
Yep, see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Times and places are all in who you share them with, and it's life, and the point is enjoying who you share it with. Joy is who you share it with. And the weeks and the weekends are keeping close who you spending with. And in time, what you find is the time is who you spend it with. Joy is who you share it with. Who you share it with.
So
Hey,
we've
guys.
made it to Nantucket.
Yes, we are in Nantucket, and we took the ferry early this morning.
Yep.
Not as early as for Martha's Vineyard.
We got on the 11 o'clock ferry, and it left out of Hyannis, and they have a high-speed ferry there that gets you here in an hour. If you take the other ferries, that can take up to 2.5 hours, which is insane. And that ferry was booking it. It was getting here so fast.
We were also a bit disheveled trying to like get together and figure out where we needed to go. So do you have recommendations?
I
on the
recommend
parking?
definitely just getting there a lot earlier. Maybe even an hour early, because finding parking can be a bit crazy and hectic.
We recommend having cash on hand because we actually had ran out and a lot of the parking was cash only.
Everything is cash around here, so highly recommend that for the New England trip, is that make sure you have a good bit of cash, because they do want cash over card.
We did find a parking lot that took credit, and so we got that. That was about 0.4 miles from the ferry.
Yeah, it was still a little bit of a walk. But yeah, so we got on the ferry, and the ferry was cool. It was so fast. We got a little breakfast on there.
They have a much bigger like concession and food stand than Martha's Vineyard, so that is something that's super nice, and really comfortable seating and tables, so it's a little more like formal than Martha's Vineyard.
The ferry drops you off right in downtown Nantucket, so that was really cool. We got off and it was the cobblestone streets.
Yes, you're like right in the action.
And all of the old school stores and buildings and everything, and it's so beautiful. But our first point of interest was jumping on the bus. It's about a 15 to 20 minute bus ride over to this Sconset area, and we jumped on the Sconset Bluff Walk.
Yeah, so we're currently on the Sconset Bluff Walk, and as you can see behind me, it is absolutely stunning. So the weird part is you're basically like walking on a trail through people's backyards, which is really interesting. I had heard that and I didn't really know what to expect fully. That is literally what it is.
And as you can tell, it is very windy because you're right next to the ocean as well.
My hair is blowing all over the place.
Yeah, but it is so beautiful. So we just got started on the path. We're gonna continue walking. We'll show you what we get into.
Excited to show you little snippets.
Yep, all right, here we go.
Your 20s are for spending hours and hours pretending we have plans and we have places we should visit, but everybody knows your 20s are for wasting time. 'Cause you could be with anyone you wanted, you could take that job they offered and move down by the ocean, but I love the way your hand feels when it's under mine.
last time we saw you guys, we were on the Sconset Bluff Walk.
Yes.
Guys, that is a must if you're in Nantucket. It is so beautiful.
Truly what dreams are made of. When you picture Nantucket, that is one of the places that you picture. It also has a lot of iconic photo spots.
As you are walking along the Sconset Bluff Walk, there's a couple of different routes that you can go. If you want to head towards the Sankaty Head Lighthouse, you're actually walking along the ocean's edge to your right, and then there's a bunch of really beautiful houses on your left. I do believe the route from the start of the Bluff Walk to the lighthouse is a pretty good hike. I believe it might be even a mile.
We were told it can take like 45 minutes to get to the lighthouse, basically.
But it is a really beautiful lighthouse and super historic. We actually just saw a video that they moved it within the last few years because the ocean's edge was washing away the edge and the lighthouse was going to fall into the ocean. So they picked up and moved it,
Which is crazy.
But it is really beautiful. It's got like a red stripe on it. We didn't actually go that way to see it, but we've heard that it is very pretty.
Yeah, so when we were in the town of Siasconset, however it's pronounced, we were told to continue down the street and walk towards the start of the public walkway. I think it's called the public way.
Yeah.
And so we were actually rerouted that way by someone when we should have gone down Front Street.
Yeah. Front Street is where you want to go. Front Street is what you'll see all over social media and where everyone gets the pretty photos and videos is Front Street. So if you're in Siasconset on Main Street, literally just walk straight and the Sconset Market will be on your right, but if you continue straight there, you'll run right into Front Street, and that's where all the beautiful vibes are. Obviously, it all is a vibe, but that's what you're looking for.
It is. It's all beautiful. And if you do have time, I do recommend actually walking the streets of the neighborhood too, because there are some really, really beautiful, super unique structures and cottages all throughout that neighborhood. But if you are going for that Sconset Bluff Walk and you also want to see all the really beautiful blooms and everything, where the cottages are just like side by side and you've got the beautiful like oyster lined pathways, then you want to make sure you start at Front Street.
Yeah, there's no cars that can come through right there, so it's just a walking path only. And like Meg said, it is lined with all the seashells and the oyster shells, and it is so beautiful and so cool. And honestly, it kind of like highlights the space because the oyster shells are so white and it's so cool. But yeah, we ended up getting some really good pictures right there, so we'll throw them in right here. And then after that, Meg and I took the short walk back into downtown, and we ended up stopping at a really popular lunch spot, and it's called Claudettes Sandwiches. We noticed so many people stopping in there as we were walking around, and people were like rushing in to try to get their sandwiches because I believe that they closed it.
I think it was 3.
It was 3 o'clock.
You guys, those sandwiches are so good. Claudettes is the way to go for lunch. It is
the way.
I got the ham and cheese and James got the smoked turkey, I think it was. And you have to get the sandwiches with the works.
Yes.
Okay? It is so good. I now fix my sandwiches with cucumbers all the time because I loved it so much.
Meg immediately came home and started making them just like that.
So that means that you're adding carrots. They do red onions. We asked for no red onions. Cucumbers, tomatoes, and cheese. And it is so, so good.
Honestly, it was one of the best sandwiches. I loved it so much, and it is seriously so convenient. Everything is really condensed right there in the downtown, so if you just are getting off the bus, want to grab a sandwich, want to go to Front Street, it's all right there.
All
so
right
perfect.
there. I highly recommend going into that farmer's market, grabbing some fruits and veggies, or grabbing a snack or two. They have coffee, they have ice cream. It's just a super cute little place. I recommend popping in, and then you can literally head straight to the Sconset Bluff Walk. Yeah,
it's perfect. After that, we ended up hopping back on the Wave transit and making the 20-minute ride back to downtown Nantucket. And what's awesome about the Wave is that it stops you off right in front of this cutie little coffee spot, and it is called the Handlebar Cafe. And seriously, it is so cute. They've got this really beautiful truck out front, and the vibes are perfect, and honestly, I'm so glad that we went in there.
Yeah, we actually saw the Handlebar Cafe on Allison Bickerstaff's videos. So she was the one that encouraged us to try it or even know about it. And it is so precious. You walk up and it is so beautiful. Like James said, they've got the cute little blue truck out front, which is a great little photo op. And not to mention, it is a small family business. And the son was actually working when we went in there, and he was so sweet. He
was very kind.
And they have some incredible drinks.
Yeah.
Like, not just saying that, they were so good. Some of our favorite drinks we had on this trip.
For sure, I agree.
I actually ordered a strawberry matcha latte the first time we popped in before we got on the bus, and then James loved it so much that when we got off the bus back in downtown, he grabbed a strawberry matcha latte and I grabbed the watermelon refresher with coconut milk, and oh my gosh, those drinks were truly so good.
They were amazing.
Highly recommend.
Really loved it. Yeah, and it was a popular spot. Something crazy happened though. So when we walked into Handlebar Cafe, we heard someone say, "Oh my gosh," and we were like, "Oh my gosh," we were like looking around, we were like, "Is there a celebrity in here? What's going on?" And it like threw us off so much. And they're like, "We just watched your vlogs." And we were like, "What?"
You're like, "You're talking to us?"
That was, we were seriously blown away. The most beautiful, kindest family stopped us in the Handlebar Cafe, and they were so sweet and made us feel so good. It was amazing. They were from California, from Southern California, really close to where my family lives, and they had made the trip out to New England to explore all the New England things because they had said that they were watching our New England vlogs from our fall trip before, and they also had been watching Allison Bickerstaff's vlogs, and we were like, "What?"
Which we highly recommend.
Highly recommend her vlogs. But yes, we were so blown away that this family that had watched our vlogs and we had inspired to come there, then we ran into them. What the heck?
It was just a really cool little like connection to have with someone, but also shout out to the Lopez family. You guys were so kind. Thank you for making our day. That was such a highlight of our trip.
Yes.
So thank you so much for being so kind and so encouraging and supportive of what we do here. We're just so thankful.
Yes, seriously, such a beautiful and kind family.
So beautiful.
Well, her husband actually took some pictures for us, and we'll throw them in right here. We feel like we've made some really good friends that we hope to see again. If we ever make it out to California in the near future, we'll definitely link up with them and say hello. If you ever see us out, honestly, just come up to us and say hello. We would love to talk with you.
That truly made our day. We're not just saying that. So that was a highlight for us, and we really enjoyed it. So it was nice meeting you guys.
Yeah. So after that, we ended up walking over to Old North Wharf, another very popular photo spot and things that you'll see on social media. It is absolutely gorgeous. You can get kind of thrown off because it says do not enter, but it's referring to cars not entering the parking space because it is residential right there.
Oh, yes.
But you can walk in there and explore the area, and it is so beautiful. There's the old Constitution House, which you will definitely see on social media.
Typically that is like the #1 photo you will see or video of Nantucket. It's the Constitution House. Literally is labeled like Constitution on the front, and it's super picturesque, iconic spot, and it was so beautiful.
Loved it so much. Yeah, seeing the water and the homes and all that stuff is just really cool.
Yes.
But yeah, we got some photos right there, so we'll throw them in right here. Then after that, we ended up heading downtown to Main Street, and Main Street is so beautiful. It's got the cobblestone streets, it's got all the bookstores and the shops.
The cobblestone streets are so beautiful, and that's all right outside of the Old North Wharf. You can walk around. There's so many cute shops, so many great restaurants, so many things. And one of the places we had to stop was the bookstore.
Yeah, they have Mitchell's bookstore, so we had to stop there. Because,
if you don't know, that's our last name. Which
so
a lot of you probably don't know that.
You probably don't know that. And then we walked by the icon Mr. Rogers. So they have this statue of Mr. Rogers downtown, and
we're big Mr. Rogers
fans. That guy was an angel. So I had to get a little picture and a video with him.
Yes.
Then we had to make our way over to the ferry. But we actually switched things up. We were supposed to be heading on the speed ferry back home at 6 o'clock. But we ended up being able to work out a situation where we took the freight ferry for later. So that allowed us to have a couple of more hours.
We wanted just a little more time. And we were like, it's not a big deal if we can't. We've seen a lot, but let's just ask. And they were kind enough to work it out to where we could get on the freight ferry instead. And that was super cool.
That was perfect, yeah. So it allowed us to hang around Nantucket for a couple more hours around sunset. So we ended up heading right back into town, and there was a lighthouse that we wanted to see that was actually really close by. It is called the Brant Point Lighthouse. I believe it was only like 1/4 mile to 1/2 mile walk from downtown. It is actually so beautiful. It is a very popular fishing spot. There were so many people there fishing, a very popular photo spot. We actually ended up walking up on someone getting proposed to.
Yeah, so what was really funny is walking that whole walk to the lighthouse, they were in front of us walking, and we were like, oh my gosh, they look so good and dressed up. We're so sweaty and nasty. Wow, how do they look like that? It's so hot today. And they're like walking in front of us all the way to the lighthouse, and then as we get there, I started picking up on what was going on because they walked straight to this one point, and then I see this lady set up on her little blanket with her cute little like bag, and she had her huge camera like on the bag, and she was like ready as they were setting up in front of the lighthouse. So I was like, oh my god, James, he's gonna propose.
Yeah,
I was like, I see it.
We called the tail end of it, so we got a little video for them as it was happening.
Yeah,
so, and we shared
really
that
cool
with them. Yeah, that was really cool. So yeah, after that we ended up walking back into downtown, and we stopped in to get some food before we got on the ferry, and we stopped into a really cool spot called Nantucket.
It is the cutest little place, super vibrant and colorful, a really fun little restaurant, but it is small, pretty compact. So there's only a few tables on the inside and a few tables outside, which actually made it a perfect place for us to grab something to go.
Yeah, definitely. We ended up getting a couple of taco bowls. I got a chicken one, Megan got a steak, and we made our way towards the freight ferry. Guys, the freight ferry was crazy.
We didn't know what to expect.
What we were getting into. So we walk on, all of these huge transfer trucks are like rolling off the freight. We get on, it's so massive.
There's like barely anyone.
We were like 1 of 4 people on the freight, which is crazy. And
we were expecting it to be similar to our other situation, just with cars, but no.
But honestly, it worked out perfect. It was definitely a chiller vibe. They did have a really cool spot where you could walk out in the front of the boat and watch the ocean and see the houses and stuff, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
It is much slower. So
yes.
it took 2.5 hours from Nantucket to get back to Hyannis. I will say if you get a little bit of seasick, you're gonna feel it on that one as opposed to the speed ferry. I felt it. After that, we ended up getting to our car and making the drive to Mystic, Connecticut. So this was our final stop before we had to fly home. We drove up to the cutest little stay.
We were exhausted. It was super late, so we didn't even know what to expect, but we knew this spot was cute. But when we pulled up, it was so beautiful because there were tons of string lights. Everything just looked so cute and out of a little like fairy tale. And we were so tired, and that just immediately like got us excited and happy that that was our last stay. And then when we walked in, we were in awe.
It's a nautical themed place, and so it's decorated perfectly. We ended up getting a more patriotic nautical vibe, and we walk in and there is freshly baked apple pie for Megan and I.
The host leaves fresh apple pie. That is just such a sweet little touch, and like I said, we were coming off such a long, crazy day that we were so tired. That was just so perfect.
Yeah.
A little cherry on top.
We loved it so much. So beautiful. We'll definitely link that place. So if you're in Connecticut or the surrounding areas, definitely recommend.
It is just really, really cute, and it's a spot that we wish we could have spent more time in.
And really close to downtown Mystic, which we highly recommend.
You know we love if you watched our previous vlogs.
For sure. So overall, highly recommend visiting Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard.
Yes, we loved both. They were both such a great day trip. You could make it longer, You could definitely do it in a day. It all just depends on what you're going for, but we were really happy with our time there.
I will say, I probably preferred Martha's Vineyard over Nantucket. Martha's Vineyard offers a little more. The ferry is a little cheaper. They have the touristy vibes as soon as you get off the ferry. Then they have the more fancy vibes if you go over to the other side of the island. And then they have some really cool beaches and more nature, I hear, on the south side.
Whereas Nantucket is kind of like this smaller, sweeter little place.
It's very quaint.
I would probably agree, even though Nantucket is so picturesque and beautiful, I do recommend both.
Yeah.
But from our experience and the time frames of what you can do, definitely Martha's Vineyard is a must.
For sure. If you're only choosing one, I would probably say Martha's Vineyard. I will say our summer New England trip was amazing. I loved it so much. I can't say one thing was better than the other because as a whole, it was just so beautiful.
An East Coast summer experience is truly a must. We cannot recommend it enough.
Yes.
If you guys have been following our channel, you know how much we love New England, and there is truly something so special about it, not only in the fall, but in the summer as well. And these beach towns and all the things we did were just, they filled our hearts. They were so wonderful, and I couldn't recommend it enough.
New England does it right. The small towns, they've really leaned into the small town vibes, and there's so many great shopping and so much great restaurants and coffee shops, and you're on the water, and it's just everything that you would dream of, and it's so beautiful.
It is hyped up for a reason, and it doesn't just look like that in photos and videos. It looks like that in person. It is truly incredible. We are huge fans, and we will be back.
Yes, really, the videos and photos don't do it justice.
You've
got to go see it for yourself. It's really special. But yeah, remember to like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram and TikTok.
All the things, and thank you guys so much for just following along and all of your support. We are so thankful that you guys have loved this trip as much as we did.
I know, we really do appreciate it. We love all the love, and we give it right back to you. So.
Yes, thank you guys.
All right, we'll see you next time.
See you next time.